Hello, everybody, and welcome to Leap to Empower. My name is Shayla Lalani, and I'm so grateful you're here today. This podcast is definitely a big leap in progress for me. I'm smiling just thinking about this moment because if you told me this even a year ago, that I'd be sitting here recording this, I would have laughed out loud and thought you were crazy. But here we are. And it's all thanks to a wise and beautiful friend who once told me, Shayla, you're going to start a podcast. You're going to share the stories of women who've dared to leap. At that time, I laughed it off and I said, hello, me? Are you sure? And the thought of it just made me laugh. And I was like, maybe in another lifetime. And here we are. Somewhere deep inside, eventually, something clicked. And it was like a spark I didn't even know I was waiting for. Well, you see, this podcast has been an extension when I co-founded iLeap Ventures with a good friend of mine, Anjali. We both took a leap because we believe women deserve not just a seat at the table, but the chance to build their own. iLeap's mission is simple: create a community where women can share, grow, and build financial independence and a life on their own terms. And don't worry, we're not excluding the men who cheer on us too. We're all inclusive. So what am I doing here? A huge part of why I'm here, speaking with you today, is because of stories. Listening to the experience of others has brought so much hope into my own life. Even as a little girl, I was always the one sitting with the wise, soaking up their wisdom, wanting to learn from those who have lived through it all. Learning from the brave and the real is one of the biggest reasons this podcast exists. Looking back at my life and connecting the dots, it's been a series of leaps. I took a leap going to business school and not knowing it would lead me to a friendship, into a partnership, and a mission that feels like home. I took a leap marrying my best friend who I met just almost 5 years ago during the craziest time of COVID. And honestly, every day I still continue to take leaps, learning to trust, to surrender, and to live in the present moment. And the biggest leap of all, which I feel is constantly evolving, the mother of it all, is loving yourself. That one. That's one of the biggest leaps of all. You know what I mean? Personally, I do want to take a moment to honor and thank my family, because the truth is, so much of who I am and who I continue to become is shaped by their love and sacrifices. And even their own leaps have taught me more than any book or class could ever. Without their support and encouragement, I would not be here today. And then there's the chosen family who I call friends. Some friends come into our lives to teach us or nudge us towards new leaps we never saw coming. And then there are the constants, the ones who stand with you through every stumble, every celebration, and everything in the middle. They see the real you without judgment and remind you of your light when you forget. I am so deeply grateful for these friendships, for being able to call on them and lean on them and laugh with them through all of it. And of course, with a cup of tea prepared by yours truly. I love my cup of hot tea. All in all, the process has been empowering. To me, empowerment doesn't come from waiting for someone else to hand you a seat at their table. It comes from realizing you've always had the power to build your own. It's realizing you already hold the power right inside you in your heart. Even when it feels scary or doubtful or uncertain or confusing or any of those emotions, it's most important to choose yourself again and again in the middle of the unknown. And that realization or that awareness is definitely a hard, evolving one. Learning to set compassionate boundaries, to give yourself grace, it's a lifelong journey. And that's why I am Leap in Progress. Of course, not every lesson feels good when you're in the thick of it. Healing is the hardest part, and it's definitely not easy. Oh my God, you know what I mean. But getting through those moments is what keeps you alive, keeps you moving towards what you're really meant to become, the magical you. Through Leap to Empower, I hope to share stories that light a spark inside of you. Thank you for being here with me today. If today's story sparks something in you, share it with someone who might need a little hope too. Until next time, keep leaping, keep believing in your magic. Talk to you soon.